We are going to start in portrait style. You could also do landscape if you prefer, but you're just gonna have to add more trees later. So I'm first gonna start with a circle kind of in my left top area, and I don't want it too big. So I might go about this size. And I'm very lightly tracing around, very lightly. Okay, so you can see that's in that top left area. Then I'm going to do like a slight curved line down here for the horizon. So just gonna and then I'm gonna slowly go up slightly. So next, we are going to start mixing our tints and shades. So I'm gonna use, again, that blue shade. So the first thing I'm gonna do is scoop out a big amount of this white to put into the pod next to it. We wanna leave a little bit of that pure white in there. And now I'm gonna start adding just a little bit of blue, because when you add any color to white, it colors that white really quickly. All right, that's perfect. Just a barely tint of it. And now I'm gonna do the next layer around my moon, trying to cover up that pencil mark that we started with and keeping that circular shape. Now I'm going to add some more blue to that first color that I mixed right there. Now it's a little bit darker, do another layer. You can always add a little bit of water, but if you're gonna use water, you don't wanna use a lot. But sometimes we need it to make our paint go a little bit smoother. Staying in that circle motion. Add even more blue to that. I'm just dipping in every time. I'm not scooping a bunch. Just dipping my paintbrush into that pure hue of that blue. Next layer. Dip a little bit of water. Again, you don't want to do a lot of water, just a little bit if needed. All right. And again, add more of that blue to that first pod that we started working with. Dip it in a little bit and add some more. Each time, we're gonna get closer to that original blue color. start going off the page, that's okay. Add more blue. You really got to mix it up before you paint with it. That was almost too close to my original, or to that layer that I did before, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. You got to test out your paint. It's okay if I have to go over it with another layer, a different color. There we go. Add even more blue. Another layer. And now I'm going to go straight to my original blue and just dip it in and do my next layer. That true blue that we started with. Now I'm going to start adding some black, but again, black is going to go very far. So I'm going to take a little bit of my true color, that true blue, and I don't need a lot. And now I'm going to just barely touch that black and add it to that original color. Black goes a long way. And for my very last layer, I'm just gonna dip a little bit of white to add to that blue and black that we just did, to make a little bit of a gray almost, a bluish gray, or whatever color you're using. So if I'm using green, a greenish gray. And finish out that layer. Now I'm going basically following that curved line that I had originally done. I don't really want to go lower than that. So when we add white to a original hue or original color, that's a tint. If you add black, it's a shade. Next, for this bottom layer, we're gonna do white. Again, it's just pretty quick because our paper's already white. Just a quick layer. not even covering it up all the way. And I might take a little bit of that white to another pod and use a little bit of this. And just do a couple. Like wisps, like that. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Now we're going to make the triangles for the trees. So if your triangle is closer to the bottom of the page, it needs to be bigger. So we give the illusion of space that the smaller things or smaller trees are farther away than they're in the back. So I'm gonna start down here. I'm just drawing it out. Actually, I want to go a little higher. I'm going to draw a smaller one over here. And like a medium size. Right there. Now I take my black paint and I paint my triangles. Definitely just trying to make sure that I cover that pencil mark that I drew my trees out with. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I can see some white down here, but that's fine. And now my trees are, the outline of them are done. All right, to add shadows to our trees, we're just gonna take a white paint and just a little bit of that background color that you did and mix it up. Might need a little more. It's always better to start lighter and add more later. A little more. Okay. Now I'm going to take my paper and I'm just gonna do like really quick swipes because I don't want a perfect like triangle or anything like that. Think about your light source. So now you have your shadows. Once you finish your shadows, Once your shadows are complete, you're going to bring it to the splatter box to splatter some paint so it looks like it's snowing.